Yo, John Anderson here. We're doing it. I'm talking to Tanner Allen. It's I guess this is the MLB DW podcast, opening day week. That's exciting, but I'm not talking about MLB right now. We've got Tanner Allen, a former College World Series champion and MVP, and former minor league player here to talk about a viral tweet and stuff surrounding that. Tanner, how are you doing? First of all, everything good?
Yes, sir, man. Hey, thanks for having me on, man. We're gonna have a blast. But yeah, everything's going good, dude. Ready to watch the season crank up. How about that?
Yeah, I'm sure you're a major league fan as well. But let's hear about the background. Obviously, being the MVP of the College World Series, if that's correct, 2021, and then some minor league ball. Obviously, a very impressive resume. I played a little league and had to quit when I was 12 because I was afraid of getting hit by the pitch too hard. But I'm holding a baseball just for like a fidget thing, so I at least have that much. I know how to hold one. So
Yeah,
um, but and I was going to get more into your statistics for that 2021 series, but I didn't want to offend you because you hate numbers and stats so much. So I'll leave it for you. But tell us about the background, how you got to baseball, what you're doing now.
yeah, man. So I've played baseball since I was 3 or 4 years old, and it's been my passion, dude. And I played, and I was always really, really good at it. And I had the opportunity to play in the SEC. I went to Mississippi State for 4 years. I tell people three and a half. COVID got me for half a year, but man, I had a really successful career in college. I was a three-time All-American, National Player of the Year, SEC Player of the Year. You name it, I got to win it. Probably everything but the Golden Spikes, the national champion. So, man, I've been around the game a long time. I got drafted by the Marlins in the fourth round, and I'm hearing all on Twitter how my pro ball career did not work out. And man, that's
Yeah.
okay. I'm fine with that. It's fine. People don't realize what goes on behind the scenes, and people don't realize how hard professional baseball is. And I still got buddies of mine that are in it and are playing, and that enjoy it and love it, but they also understand, hey, pro ball is a grind, and you know what? It just wasn't for me.
I mean, you're probably one of like the 2000 or so best baseball players like in the world. So I would call that pretty impressive. There's like
For
what,
sure.
like 900 major league players or something, 26 man roster. I don't know if you want to go 40 man roster times 30, just not too many people. So I'd say getting to double A is pretty impressive. One more thing before we get into the main topic. I view your profile on X on Twitter, spreading his word through baseball, hunting and fishing,
Yeah.
meaning the gospel. I try to sneak that into my podcast as well, fellow believer. So I wanted to give you a chance to do that and maybe join you in it, spreading the word. Anything to say on that front, or
Yeah,
anything you're
man.
working on, busy with now?
Yeah, man. So right now I'm actually I've retired from baseball. I'm done. And I've been doing a lot of keynote speaking, and I try to encourage, young people, even adults. I've spoken at a lot of events, a lot of high schools, a lot of churches. I spoke at a farm bureau. I mean, just a huge event the other weekend. And what I'm trying to do is, man, I ran for the devil for 26 years, man. I did. And I'm not a perfect person by any means, but I'm trying to do my best. Along those 26 years of my life, I guarantee you, I encouraged and motivated some folks to run for the devil. So now I feel like it's my duty to make up for that and spread
No.
the good news and the good word of Jesus Christ. Man, He can change your life. He is changing mine for the better. So, somebody tried to attack me for my religion the other day on Twitter, and it really, it didn't bother me as bad. It was kind of made me feel sorry for him, because when you
No.
know Jesus, you know peace and who you are. And clearly, if you're that mad at somebody and you're attacking them like that, man, you don't have any peace. And that kind of bothered me a little bit about that person.
Yeah. Our identities are sealed in Christ. I don't think we really need to. I mean, we're told not to worry about what the world says. In fact, we're kind of told that the world's not going to like it very much. So Christians that kind of let that stuff bother them, maybe have some checking to do. But yeah, I'm sure it's tough to be a star college athlete for a few years and kind of being the big man on campus. I don't know. Maybe the football stars were a little bit bigger of a deal at Mississippi State, but there's probably a lot of temptations and whatnot to come with that, huh?
Yeah, man. So here's the most special thing about Mississippi State is Mississippi State baseball is like Alabama football or Ohio State football.
Okay.
So we were the stars on campus. And yeah, man, I did. I used my spotlight a lot in the wrong direction. I did. And I'll be
Yes.
the first to tell you that. And the good thing is, the Lord died, or Jesus died on that cross to forgive us of all our sins, everything. Everything. You don't. I tell people all the time, you don't have to clean up to come find God. You find God to clean up. That's it.
Amen.
So you're just
Yes.
supposed to come as you are, and that's what I did, man. And He's working in my life. I'm not perfect by any means, but He's working. And the more I learn about Him, the more I draw closer to Him, the more I see His fingerprints all over my life.
All right. Amen to that. We'll leave it there. Although that does kind of take off the edge, I think a lot of people are wanting to just like really keep the hate flowing towards you and your take. And my audience is baseball analytics. I'm a fantasy baseball writer, and
Yeah,
we get into that. So let's read the tweet. Here it was. First of all,
fire it up.
this thing got 2.2 million views and counting. Has this ever happened to you before?
I've got a lot of views on some tweets back when I was in Mississippi State. We were at our height of our postseason run, but I don't know if I've ever got 2.5 or 2.1 mil.
Not
I
for
think I've
negative
got them.
reasons.
Yeah, not for negative reasons, I guess you could say.
All right, here it is. Tanner Allen on March 20th. Dear Baseball, please remove all the nerds from our wonderful sport. Please replace them with qualified former players and veterans of the game, grown men who truly know the game, from everyone who is truly passionate about the game. Now, before I let you explain all that, and actually, this is going to be lame because I'm going to give you the whole like chance to lay out your whole case and your whole thinking, which is so much lamer than 120 characters on the internet. But I did want to read some of the replies. I went through them all
Hey,
and
good man.
picked out some of my favorites. First of all, Alabama explains this take from someone named Warren. So some anti-Alabama rhetoric there. I've heard a lot of that. I have this one friend from high school that is a very educated liberal person, and he often goes after people from Alabama. So you don't have to comment on that, but it's just like this.
Hey,
These
we're good.
yeah, the very inclusive people are very willing to like just put a whole state in the garbage can. Yeah,
That's
maybe you
right.
didn't, Tanner. Maybe you didn't pray hard enough, and that's why you flunked out of the minors.
Hey, he might
um,
be right, dude. He might be right.
maybe. Spoken like someone who peaked in high school. Now, I don't think that was fair. I'd say you peaked in college.
I picked in college for
Yeah,
sure. My last year at
right.
Mississippi State, man. Hey, I had a 1 in a billion year, literally.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say that's the peak. So that guy is wrong. Sounds like you suck, law. Just classic. I mean, that's a good one. And then yeah, a bunch of people like you already brought up, saying that this is why you didn't listen to the analytics people, and that's why you had a unsuccessful quote unquote minor league career. But all right, so that's it. Obviously, just so many replies and quotes, and all
Yeah, I didn't look at all
90%
of them. I'm gonna
negative.
be honest with you.
Of course, yeah. I've been there. I've been there myself. I think one time I said that like men shouldn't go watch the Barbie movie, and that got me up there. Which you just leave it go. You let it go. So let's hear about it. Let's give your whole case, lay out this whole thinking that you have on this.
All right, so here's why I tweeted the tweet out for sure. Everybody's like, "You're just so jealous. You're out of pro ball." Look, man, I'm out of pro ball. My career didn't work out. I promise you, I am 100 times more happier right now where I'm at than I was last year. Traveling around the country, making 10 grand every 6 months, playing professional baseball. Like I'm so much more happier doing what I'm doing now. So that doesn't really bother me. But this is what kind of bothers me. I still got friends of mine in the game. And one of my close friends is Jake Mangum. He played at Mississippi State, very good player. He's had a lot of success in pro ball. This year he was at big league camp, and I think he almost hit 400. He might even hit over 400. And they kick him to AAA,
Mm.
and they give a guy that hit 180 the spot on the big league team. Like that is like, in what world is that okay in baseball? We're talking about Jake Mangum. I'll give you just a quick rundown of his baseball resume. I think he's a 3-time All American, SEC Freshman of the Year, SEC batting title. Just he has the most hits in SEC baseball history. He's hit almost 300 every single year in pro ball. Steals bases, plays unbelievable defense. This guy's a winner, and they won't put him on the big league team. So when I saw him get demoted to AAA, I'm like, there's no way that any baseball people in that organization think this guy needs to be in AAA. So then I was like, it's got to be the analytical people who are telling, the people that wear the suit and ties and carry the briefcases that, hey, this guy needs to
Yeah.
be in AAA. And that's why I tweeted what I tweeted. Now, do I regret it? No, not one bit, because here's the truth. I've had so many people over the last 2 days in baseball, still playing in pro ball, coaches, players, staff, text me like, man, thank you so much for finally saying something. Like, I don't care what anybody says, keep saying it. And I can because I'm not employed there anymore. Now, if they said
Yeah,
something, they're getting fired, right? That's
yeah,
just the truth. So they're like, hey, please, we need more baseball people in baseball. And I think there is a fine line. I was kind of aggravated, but I think there is a fine line between analytics and baseball people. And I've got multiple stories in my career where analytics have helped me. But then again, I have multiple that have absolutely just not helped me at all.
yeah. Yeah, so it's a balance because they're human beings playing the game at the end of the day. You're not
Right.
machines. Um, if you're coaching a team, maybe you help the numbers, the projections, whatever you do to put the roster together. I mean, there's certainly something to that, but you also need like I know the numbers. Let's say I if I walk into a big league locker room and start telling people what to do, why would they listen to me, right? Like I'm
Exactly.
some nerd with. I mean, I don't wear glasses. I guess I don't look terribly like horrible, but you need someone to command. You need to at least to run the team to deal with the personal aspect of it. You need what you said, running teams, grown men who truly know the game. I know maybe there's a little bit of like ageism there too, but of course, you like if you're going to have a 25-year-old professional athlete, you probably need someone older, wiser, intimidating to really steer them the right way.
Exactly. That is, we need baseball people in the dugout. For instance, let's put it like this: the managers in pro ball. This is just from my experience. Okay, I'm speaking from my experience. This is firsthand experience. I'm not making this up. I didn't hear this
Yep.
from somebody. This is what I have experienced. And in pro ball, the manager doesn't even make the lineup out anymore. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He is given a lineup. He is told what to do. He basically is at the field listening to whatever the people up top say. Like his input on talent or what he sees is very, very small. And I feel like the managers or the baseball people, they're around the guys every single day. They're coaching these guys. They're helping develop these guys. I think their opinion should matter. And that's one of the reasons that in my career, everybody's like, your career was so bad. Yeah, my first 2 years in the pro ball were terrible. But my third year, I performed pretty well. I hit about 270 with 9 homers, and I played half the year. They were playing me half the year.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just man, we just need baseball people in baseball. Now, is there room for analytics? 100%. And I can tell you a few stories where analytics have helped me in college, man. I got this, for example, I'll give you one example right here. We were playing in a super regional in Starkville in 2021. The year we won the national championship, and there's 15,000 people in the stadium, game one. And Notre Dame, who were playing, threw a left-handed pitcher, and through our analytic department and scouting and watching the game, watching film video, we looked up, his percentage of throwing a curveball or a slider to a left-handed hitter when a left-handed hitter had one strike on him. It was like 90%.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first at bat, I go up there and take a fastball right down the middle for strike one. Next pitch, I'm looking for the slider, right? Because 90% of the time he's throwing the slider. He throws the slider, I hit a home run in right center field, start the game off. Right?
Yeah.
That is a prime example of how the guys in the analytic department helped me have success right there. But I just think nowadays, especially in pro ball, we have got so many guys that it's not their fault. They don't have any feel for the game because they hadn't been around the game. They have
Yeah.
been in the classroom learning statistics and all that other stuff, which is fine, dude. That's fine. But as a former player, I always found comfort in the 55-year-old hitting coach who'd been around the game a long time, who had seen people struggle, had seen everything under the sun that the game has brought. I found comfort in asking him his opinion and what I need to do versus somebody telling me, "Hey, this is what the computer says right here. This is what you're doing." I would rather somebody who's been around the game give me
Yeah.
instruction.
I would say the interesting thing is that it's kind of just a term, a wording thing. Because I mean, go back 50 years, or the example you said, the senior coach, 50, 60 years old, been around the game a long time, not familiar with the analytics, all the new stuff that's really come on the stage in like the last 10 years. Just to take this example of, say you're back in 1990 and there's a guy that's hitting, it's the second week of the season and you're in the major leagues and you've lined out super hard just to center field, like you're squaring it up, barreling it up, just making outs, right? It's bad luck hitting balls right at guys. The manager at that point is probably saying in his head, he's like, well, I'm going to keep playing this guy. He's hitting the ball hard. It's just not falling. All we've done, and we've taken it too far, I agree. But the main gist of it is all we've done is put numbers on that. We've
Yeah.
we've put a number on that thing that the manager already kind of knew. So the expertise now is not in someone with a trained eye as much as it is the numbers are kind of just detailing what's happening and what is likely to happen in the future.
Exactly. I agree. It's you I feel like you should be able to have people in an organization that you trust, right? Baseball people that can go to a game, watch players, and not have to study the computer the whole time and tell them they let the computer tell them that they're a good player. I believe there's guys in the game that can go watch the game and say, "Hey, that guy right there is a big leaguer. That guy right there
Yeah,
is a big leaguer. He's really good. What does he do well? All you got to do now for a hitter wise is have a big exit velocity. There is
yeah,
so much more to the game than exit velocity. People don't realize that. Now, is it really cool? Yeah, guys hit the ball really hard, right? They do. That is really neat. But if you strike out 50% of the time, you're not going to help us win. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And the
That's
good
where
analytics people will put those two things together.
yeah, they will. And I believe that's why, for instance, my friend Jake Mangum, I'm like, man, that guy's game wins games. He gets on base a lot. He steals bases. He plays unbelievable defense. He doesn't strike out. Like that's how you win games. Four
Yeah,
things right there, and that's what just enraged me so much. It's like this is unbelievable. And then they're gonna put the guy that's hitting 180. Like I'm sorry. Oh, how are you gonna? Can you please defend that 180 batting average, 180 batting
I
average? I'd love to hear you defend it.
you're
Or
talking about
not talking to you personally, but
well, I
whoever I'm talking
will.
about.
You're talking about spring training, right? Mangum in
Yeah,
spring. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, 4 weeks of batting average is pretty much meaningless. I mean, it's just there's so much randomness in that stat. I think this is what the analytics people would tell you. Also, and there might be contract considerations. Maybe they have
of
eyes
course.
on Mangum of extending that, kind of keeping the extra year of control or whatever on him, or the guy that they want, the guy that went in over him, maybe doesn't have options anymore, and they'd have to DFA him instead, something like that. But yeah, I mean, and also the stat that you keep bringing up is batting average, and that one has kind of been thrown out the door. I mean, people don't even want to hear it. They want to hear about slugging percentage and extra base hits and home runs and whatnot. We've seen a big change on that in the last 20 years. So, do your feeling? You think we're overlooking that a bit?
100%. 100%. I don't even know what a WAR plus C is, all this other stuff. Like
Yeah.
we're creating these stupid stats to try to defend a terrible batting average. Is what we're doing. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
If
they.
let's be fair, let's be
No.
fair here. All right. If I'm hitting 300, all right, I promise you, I'm doing everything in a lineup that I need to be doing. Every stat you need, I'm probably doing it, guaranteed. Okay. If I'm hitting 300, I'm getting on base. I'm hitting extra base hits. I'm getting RBIs. The art of people hitting with runners in scoring position is lost. Everybody wants the home run ball now. No,
Yeah.
there's an art to that. When you get runners in scoring position and you learn how to hit the ball with runners in scoring position and get hits and score runs, that's how you win. So I believe that batting for me personally, and for a lot of guys I play with, if my batting average was 285 and above, I'm doing everything I needed to be doing. I'm on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if it was low, I can't. How are you going to defend that? I can't defend it. Like I'm not. You can
I.
only hit the ball so hard, so many times, and get out. I promise you. Most of the time, when you hit it hard, it's going to be a hit.
What about Kyle Schwarber's 2022 or something? He hit
Okay.
190, but 45 homers. Like that's a pretty good season, right?
Yeah, well, man, you got to know who Charles Schwarber is. He is
Yeah.
a home run guy, and he did hit a
Okay.
lot of homers that year. He
Okay.
did. He hit 45 homers, but there's no. I don't know what the Phillies did that year, but there's no telling. What if he's hitting? I tell young kids all the time. I train high school and college guys all the time. I'm like, do you want to be a good hitter with power, or do you want to be a power hitter?
Yeah.
A good hitter with power does everything, right? Can hit with runners in scoring position, can move runners over. He can run one out of the yard. He can hit with two strikes. He doesn't strike out, man. You know how easy it is to defend a strikeout? So
Yeah.
easy. So
Yeah.
you
You
ain't
don't
got to do
stand.
that. Just stand
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe that batting average is a very, very huge stat that needs to be taken more seriously. And all
Okay.
this WAR plus C bull crap needs to go out the window. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. 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 How about so Luis Arise? He's the guy. Like,
Really good
if
player.
if I'm drafting a major league team and I'm picking between Arise and Schwarber, maybe throw out the age stuff. Like, we're not worried that say that they're the same age. I mean,
Okay.
I'm taking Schwarber every time because a home run's worth a lot more than two singles.
Okay.
Would you disagree there?
Okay. I'll ask you this question. Let's say it's game 6 of the World Series. All right. And this bottom of the ninth, and the winning run is at second base. Do you want a Luis Arias at the plate, or do you want Kyle Schwarber at the plate?
Yeah, of course, Arise, a higher chance of driving the guy in. But
And
over
here-
162 games, I want Schwarber's run production over Arise.
Right, and that's your opinion. My opinion is I want Arias because Arias gets on base, he hits, he doesn't strike out, he plays really good defense, and he can steal. And he
Yeah,
plays anywhere on the field too. And Schwarber, hey, look, Schwarber is valuable. He hits the long ball a lot. He does. He does, and that's valued in this game today. But I believe, without a rise, solo home runs don't beat you. That's just the truth. You know what I mean? And I don't care how many homers you hit. If you're hitting solo homers, I'm sorry, that's just one run. That's almost a breath. I remember in college, we would have guys on base and it'd be a stressful situation, and somebody hit a home run, but I cleared them. Thank goodness. So like a solo home run's not going to bother me one bit.
yeah,
So you got to
yeah,
have a healthy balance between Luis Rice and the Kyle Schwarbers.
yeah. All right. Yeah, I would say that there's definitely a different disagreement between the analytics people and you, even just in the basics of like where runs come from, how to build them. But the thing with the thing that I wanted to talk about is like this balance that, like I mentioned at the beginning, like the human aspect and also like situational stuff, like you described there. And have you seen in the minors, you have experience with this? You've probably seen guys who are very good at hitting the ball the other way, move a guy over, drive in a run from third with a fly ball, whatever it may be, like the more fundamental things that maybe they don't try to do that anymore because they're trying to hit as many home runs as possible so they can move up the chain. Is that
Here's
accurate?
the brutally honest truth, okay? Every organization will teach you to, hey, hit the ball to second base when there's a runner on third, less than 2 outs, do your job, do all that stuff. They'll teach you that. That doesn't matter. None of that
Yeah.
matters. The only thing that matters is how hard the ball comes off your bat and if it goes over the fence or not. That is the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
And it's honestly the most. If you play the game to hit home runs, to win by the home run, you're going to die by the home run more than you win by it. I promise you. You've got to have. There's so many good. I played with so many great baseball players in minor leagues that do everything right, but they don't have plus power, and they're still in the minor leagues. Like
Yeah.
that's just a brutally honest truth.
I don't think you could find a team that led the league in home runs that didn't make the playoffs, though. I mean,
Okay, well that's fair.
yeah, but there's a balance to it for sure. And then yeah, like what you said, even to make that point even clearer, like you said, someone grounds out to second base, moves a guy over, what they're supposed to do. That's even a positive for a run expectation. Like it's a good thing to do. But then the nerd at the computer, to use your terminology, says, "Oh, he grounded out to second in the eighth inning. That's not good. We wanted him to hit a ball 105 screamer, and
Exactly.
and he gets no
They
credit
don't
for
know the
that."
game.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
listen.
yeah.
In my defense, I have played in minor league baseball with some analytical guys. They're in the dugout, they're on the iPad doing all this other stuff. And I have played with some who are in the game, who understand the game, what's going on, and have been very helpful. But I have also played with a lot that don't have any idea what's going on. No
Yeah.
idea. And it's no feel. Here's the thing, like they don't understand the game because they've never been in between the lines. Okay, they don't understand, and that's okay. Like I have had analytic guys in the dugout I've never spoken one word to during the game, but I've had one like my last year in Double A. Shabib, that was my homie. I could go find him, and he knew the game though.
Yeah.
I mean, and I wouldn't know necessarily like from instance. All right, if I walk to the plate and I'm thinking about, all right, this guy's got 17 inches of horizontal run. I gotta know. I just need to know, does his fastball tell or is it staying straight?
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't need any specific stuff. I just need, because when you're hitting a baseball, you have to keep it as simple as possible. Okay, you got to keep it as simple as possible. I just need a velocity and what his fastball's doing. Is it rising or is it tailing? I don't need you to go in there and sit there and break down everything. Is it rising or is it tailing? Or
But
is it?
you, at the end of the day, you agree. You just see it with your eyes, while these people see it in the numbers. You both kind of
Right.
agree that this fastball is good because it runs. It's just that you have the experience rather than looking at a database of
Of
numbers like
course.
me. Yeah.
Of course, and then here's another thing that comes into play. Let's say it's late in the game, and the other team brings in a left-handed pitcher, right? And there's a left-handed batter going to the plate, and statistics say, "Hey, look, we have got to get a right-handed batter up there. This lefty, he's not going to hit this left-handed left pitcher, right?" Well, they don't understand. The only right-handed batter you might have on the bench hadn't had an AB in 3 weeks. It's not going to make a difference when he
Exactly.
goes up
Yeah.
there. You know what I mean? It's not going to make a difference. Or this lefty, maybe he's been working really hard in the cage on left-handed breaking ball. Give him opportunity to prove and see his hard work come to light. You know, I think that's way overlooked. Like, or vice versa. In the eighth inning, You got to bring in this guy right here. He can't hit a fastball. Let's bring in our firearm thrower out the bullpen. Right, he comes in and can't throw a strike. He walks
Yeah.
people 40% of the time. That's not going to do any good. You know what I mean? Or this right here, the big moment of the game. It's like I always think about the World Series is what I compare it to because I played in the College World Series. Like I can only imagine like a big moment in the game, and our best reliever was Landon Sims. He was really good, and I can only imagine a big point in the game and a left-handed batter up there who kills right-handed pitching. I'd still be like, Landon is our dog. He's going in
Yeah.
the game. I don't care what the analytics say. The computer cannot measure heart or willpower or competitiveness. You know what I mean? It cannot measure that. And so I would put him in the game every time. So I think there's a lot of, like I said, it's a fine line between. But main reason I tweeted that out was because of aggravation of my buddy not
You're
making the
fine. I
team.
get it.
And
Yeah, of course. It's again, you have a limited number of characters. You're kind of fired up, and I mean, I've done it many times. Say something you would like to have said it differently or more
I
fully,
would
and
have
then
definitely said it differently. I
yeah,
would have definitely said it differently, but I would not change my opinion.
and then people just the dog pile aspect. Like after 50 other people have jumped on somebody, like it becomes real easy for everybody else to jump on them too. Like you wouldn't be the first one to criticize the guy, but if everybody else is doing it, like I'll jump in and I'll
That's
take
it.
my hack. It's so lame. Like
That's it.
that is yeah.
Like as somebody said, clearly don't listen to this guy. He's a bum. I'm sitting there saying, yeah, I would not listen to a three-time All-American national champ professional baseball
Yeah,
player about
yeah,
any opinion about baseball. I wouldn't listen to him at all.
right.
No,
Yeah,
no, he has no
you
idea what
need
he's
both,
talking.
especially in the clubhouse. I mean, that's the world you come from, right? Like the world I come from, and all the people trying to dunk on you come from. Honestly, they're probably trying to bet on games. They're playing fantasy like me. They're trying to do the database stuff, whatever, and just trying to appear smart. That's where they come from. They come from the numbers. They've never been in a dugout. They don't know anybody who's any good at baseball, and you come from a completely different world. And the proper way is a marriage of those two things, where you don't have some nerd who has no respect from the players come in and telling people what to do when they've
You
never done it.
can't.
That's obviously
You
going to be a
can't.
turnoff.
You can't. If I'm building sandcastles, all right, and or I'm trying to build one, and you've never built one, why am I going to listen to you to teach me how to do it?
Even if you know, even if you've read a book about it, you still gotta
Exactly. It's
freaking
still. I
do it.
mean, that's just the truth. I mean, this is for instance, if I don't know how to hit a curveball, I need help on hitting a curveball. Why am I going to listen to somebody in the analytic department come in there and tell me, "Hey, this is what you need to do"? Da, da, da. There's been a hitting coach over here who's been around the game for 30 years. I'm probably going to listen to him. Okay, that is an example of, hey, stay in your lane. I need you to tell me when the curveball is likely to come, like when it's going to come in the zone or when he's going to throw it. I don't need you to try to tell me where I need to swing, what my swing needs to do. Okay, I just need you to focus on telling me his best counts to throw his best curveball. That's what I need you to focus on.
Yeah. All right. So I have some questions for
All right,
you.
cool.
So you had played in minor leagues, got the Double A last year. Well, first of all, what is it like in college? Like, maybe it's different at each university, but the analytics stuff, like, do they have all these TrackMan systems, all these
When I was in
fancy
college,
CUBA
we
stuff?
didn't.
Okay.
When I was in college, we didn't. All we had was an advanced scouting report and and mainly I'm not even sure how they did it, but it was there every single day, and we didn't have all this extra stuff. We didn't take one swing and go look at the machine and see what my swing was doing. No, we knew that, hey, if I'm hitting on the barrel and the ball's back spinning, my swing is on. I don't want to go to the game. I tell kids all the time, I don't want to go into the game, go and get in the box, face a guy throwing 95 and worry about what my swing pass doing. No, I want to know that I'm grooved, I'm locked in. Now maybe if we're having a problem in the cage, and I'm consistently not barreling the ball up and I really don't feel good, maybe I would take a look at it just to get a visual idea of what it's doing. But most of the time, I've played the game long enough. I've been recruited to come here because I can hit. I know what I'm doing. Okay, I
Yeah.
don't need any of this extra stuff. I don't need you to tell me about exit velocity. Okay, especially young guys nowadays. I feel like hitting facilities and coaches, they use that as a scam to show these parents, hey, look, Johnny's hitting it for 58 off the bat. No, it doesn't matter. They don't understand. You need to
Yeah.
teach these young guys the correct way to hit. So when they get older and stronger, they don't have to learn how to hit. They already know how to hit. And then the exit velocity will go through the roof. That's how it works.
Right.
When you try to hit the ball as hard as you can for an exit velocity, all your mechanics go out the window. Your mechanics don't work. It doesn't work that way. You've got to focus on having the correct mechanics to the baseball, practice it every day to where you can't get it wrong, And then the older you get, the more you work out, the more strong you get, the more explosive you get, then your exit velocity takes off.
Yeah, the
They got
numbers
it
should
backwards.
the numbers should you should become the player you are, and then use the numbers to tweak yourself a little bit rather than I
Of
need to fit
course.
this mold. I
Of
mean,
course.
you're not a huge guy, right? Like if they tried to make you into Jordan Alvarez or Aaron Judge, like that's a terrible idea.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
That's a terrible
Um.
idea.
So, well, the national championship. I was going to ask. Just, I mean, that must have been the time of your life. Huh? Any just crazy stories from that College World Series?
Yeah, man, it was wild, brother. It was wild. Like I tell people all the time, the coolest story I got from it was about the eighth or ninth inning of the national championship game 3. We're about to win the whole thing, and there's 25,000 Mississippi State fans in Omaha going crazy. And as I'm throwing the ball in from throwing it with our center fielder, his name's Rowdy Jordan. I throw the ball in, and I kind of have that moment. I take it all in. I'm like, man, I'm standing there looking throughout the whole place in the stands, all the players. I mean, all the families going crazy. I seen people on their knees crying, high fiving, hugging. Just a big party is about to start. And there's probably 8 to 10,000 people in the outfield, and behind me in right field, there's probably 4 to 5,000 people. And I look in the outfield behind me. I had no idea where my family was sitting that night. And out of all those people, I looked right at them, and they were all going crazy and cheering for me. And just I can remember reading my uncle's lips like, "Don't stop, keep going, keep going. Like put the throttle down. It's almost there." And
Right.
that right there was so cool to me because that whole group had sacrificed so much of their time, effort, and money for me to live my dream, and they're about to share a national championship with me. That was probably the coolest moment for me.
Sweet. One more analytic thing I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
I'm in the fantasy world. I've got a decent audience. You know, I got a newsletter, a website that has a pretty good following. And one thing I've fought with people a lot about is this idea of the hot hitter. I have never been able to find in the numbers that you can actually be hot in terms of I because of what I've done lately, because of how I feel right now, I am more likely to perform better than my average. And people get very mad at me when I say that. I'm guessing that you believe firmly that a hitter can be hot or cold, and I'd like you to make that case to me so I can learn.
Oh, 100% a hitter can be hot and cold because I've been the hot hitter and I've been the cold hitter. Okay.
Yeah,
And when you're going good and when you're hot, it doesn't matter what the pitch is throwing. You can hit anything. It does not matter. Just because it's all a mind thing. The hot hitter is unbelievably confident, right? The cold hitter, he has no confidence. And I believe you can clearly see the difference between a hot and cold hitter by his body language in the box and how he handles the at bat. And so I definitely think there's a thing to a hot hitter. A hot hitter is like he'll go on a stretch a week long and he won't miss a barrel. He'll hit everything hard. He might not be getting hits, but he's hitting everything hard. He's not swinging at balls out of the zone. He's taking his walks. The moment's never too big. That's how you know a guy's locked in and he's hot. Now the cold hitter, on the other hand, he's striking out because he's chasing balls out of the zone. He's late to the fastball. He's really nervous in big situations. You feel like every time you get in the box, you're already down 2 strikes because you go 2 strikes that quick. So you can definitely tell the difference between a hot and cold hitter for sure. And I think that's another analytical point is if it's a big moment in the game and you got a left-handed batter up there who statistically is not very good against left-handed pitching, but he's very hot right now, I'm leaving him in the game. I'm leaving him in the game. He is swinging it. And what I mean by very hot is doing what I just said. He's not striking out. He's not chasing balls in the dirt. He's sitting on the barrel. He's getting his hits. You know what I mean? He's calm. He looks confident. I'm sticking with that guy.
but you're not putting. If you have Bryce Harper who's over his last 12, and you have to choose him or like Johan Rojas, like this defensive specialist center fielder who doesn't hit worth a lick, but he's 2 for his last 2. You're still sticking with Harper in that case, right? I mean, there's bound.
100%.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
Bryce Harper. He's got his
yeah.
history of coming through in big moments is very, very, very good. So, yeah, I'm gonna ride or die with Bryce Harper. I
Love
couldn't
it.
leave the stadium that night knowing I took Bryce Harper out the lineup when the game was on the line.
Even if
I
he's
couldn't
cold.
live. Yeah, even if he's cold, I don't care.
Yeah,
He's going to the plate because if anybody in this dugout can come through in this moment being cold, it's him.
yeah.
You
All
live
right,
and you die by your best. Your best.
yeah. That's just a way to keep your job too. You don't want to be the
Yep.
manager who didn't. Uh,
Exactly.
just a bonehead move looking. But minor league baseball. First of all, let me say that you're on my database, which is pretty cool. I looked you up from last year's minor league pitch by pitch data, and man, you hit a home run off Ben Joyce and Jacob Misiorowski.
I did. That's my claim to fame for last year.
That's insane. I mean, what was it? Were they fastballs? Those guys both
Yeah.
throw triple deuce.
100 mile an hour fastballs.
Wow. And I
Here's the
mean,
cool thing about last year for me, man. My last year in pro ball, I started off very hot, and a trade went down where Luis Arias goes to the Padres, and the Padres send us over two outfield prospects. I'm an outfielder,
yeah, yeah,
and they are going to get the playing time. And this guy right here is not getting the playing time because I didn't get traded for a big leaguer, right? So that kind of, in a way, screwed me out of my playing time. And when you don't play regularly, it's hard to get going against really good pitching. You're not seeing it every night, you know. And that's what happened to me. I got hurt. I pulled a groin. And I never, once they got me healthy, they let me go. And look, when
yeah,
they let me go, I promise you, you can ask the manager and the hitting coordinator that was in there. It was almost a feeling of, hey, no hard feelings, guys. Like, clearly, I don't want to be where I'm not wanted. And minor league baseball is terrible, man. It's a grind.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
was okay with it. So I know everybody's like, man, your professional career was terrible. Are you so jealous you're not playing anymore? Clearly, your salary you don't play anymore. Look, I don't care. I could care less about playing anymore. I really don't. I enjoy what I'm doing now, which is help developing young hitters and encouraging young men and women to find Jesus. That's what I love doing.
Yeah. And it's funny that like you were 25 last. Are you 26 right now?
Yeah, I'm 26.
So like 25 in Double A, that's like you're like old. Like that is brutal, man.
That's what I'm saying. I look, baby, I'm good. Hey, I'm. If they think that I am so jealous and so sad that I'm missing out on 10 grand for 6 months when I'm 26 years old, they have lost their mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I can do this. Like, I'm 34, and I've got like 40 years left in my prime of writing. So
There
as long
you
as my
go,
fingers don't break, I guess.
dude. You
Uh,
got it. You got it.
being a pro, man, minor league, there's so much pressure there too. Because like I just said, like 25-year-old. I mean, you have the whole life ahead of you, but in baseball terms, at least in
You're at
how
the
teams
end.
view it, you're at the end. You got yeah. They're not gonna pay a 27-year-old Double A guy even that 10 grand. You know.
Nope.
Are some guys just okay? Are there guys that just like it and just stay in the minors without really much hope of the majors?
Yeah, there are guys who I know a lot of guys that are just still playing because they love to play. They have no chance of making it, and that's a tip my hat to them, man. They love it. But for me, do I love the game? Oh, I love the game, man. I have a burning passion for the game, but I also know where I'm at in my life, and it's time to do something else. Now, would I love to get into coaching, or do I have that opportunity? Of course, I got that opportunity. I saw somebody the other day is like, "This is not a very smart tweet if you're trying to get into coaching." Like, I'm sorry, like
Doesn't
my
matter.
resume, you know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to tell it how it is. I wanted to tweet back, but I didn't. I wanted to say every single person that has texted me from that is in baseball is telling me to keep going and keep exposing everything, you know. But I'm just gonna, man. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. I don't like doing that. But I felt like that needed to be said, and that was like I told you, said out of just pure, I guess, disappointment. My buddy didn't make the big league
Sure.
roster.
How about was it Ben Joyce? Who were the toughest pitchers you faced last year? Any other big name? I made a list. I mean, you saw Drew Thorpe, Brett Lauder, Nate Pearson.
Yeah.
Anybody stand out?
Man, Mizorowski's probably the best one.
Okay.
He was really good. He had got me all year long. See, I faced him many a times, and I was actually like 0 for 5 or 6 against him. He struck me out like 3 or 4 times, but I finally got him. Hit a fastball, hit a home run. That was in Biloxi. He was really good. He throws fastball, changeup, and slider, and he throws 100 miles an hour. Ben Joyce, disgusting,
Yeah,
man,
104.
disgusting, and he can throw a
Yeah.
slider for a strike. Those are tough, man. Those are tough at bats. But yeah, Drew Thorpe, he had a really good changeup. Rhett Lauder. I thought he was pretty good. I think his slider needs to get a little bit better, but I thought he was really good. I thought he was
Okay.
really good. And we kind of
Did you
banged him
really?
up a little bit in Pensacola.
Yeah, the fastball's really slow. 91. Like the analyst guys really don't like that, but I guess if you can
They
if
got
you can
money in
command
him.
it.
They got to play him.
Yeah. Well, now he's got Tommy John surgery. Unfortunately, that just happened
I
this
didn't
week.
know. So
But
Rhett's having Tommy
yeah.
John.
No, Drew Thorpe.
Drew Thorpe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rhett's
I didn't-
okay.
Here's
How
I
about
mean, somebody would
good?
probably be like, "Hey, Rhett struck you out." Like, yeah, okay, he struck me. I was getting 3 ABs a week. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, I saw the stuff really good. I was just my timing was off. So I think the best arm I saw was definitely Jacob Mizrowski.
All right. And we should see him in the majors this year. I don't know if
If
I
not,
don't
they're
think
crazy.
at least the question is like reliever or starter. I imagine he wants to be a starter. I mean, is there something to that with the guys that you know? Does everybody kind of hope to be a starter, or do some guys set on just being a bullpen guy?
I think most guys are set on just being in the big leagues.
Yeah. No
Whatever you
matter what.
need me to do, no matter what you need. And it wouldn't surprise me they made Mr. Grassi a closer because the dude throws 100 miles an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah, makes sense to
Okay,
me.
he's electric. That would make him a closer 100% because if you use him as a starter, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you can only use him once a week. But imagine having that guy to nail down the door at the end of the game.
Right. Yeah.
That would suck the wind out of our dugout when we saw him come in the game. Like, oh, great, here we go.
Yeah. As long as he can throw some strikes, but I mean, you can throw some balls as a reliever as long as you're
Yeah,
making up for it. But how about
you're right.
anybody you played with? You were in the Marlins organization. Any player? So my audience is really looking for the next big thing, right? We want to be the one to find the next stud player.
Yeah,
Anybody you played with that we should be keeping an eye on?
man. Let me think about that for a second. I've played with some really good players. Uh,
I guess I put you on the spot there because you're friends with these guys, but
no, I am, and I believe, man, that's a tough question. But I think if anybody you can keep an eye on, I don't know what kind of offseason he had. I don't know what kind of spring he's having, but I used to like him a lot, and I saw him get a lot better, and he matured as a player as Victor Mesa Jr. And
okay.
I would keep an eye on him for sure. I think he's going to be all right. I think he's got a chance if he's working out and he's doing good and he's trying to stay healthy and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. I think he'll make the big leagues this year, and I think he'll be a good player.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. One more thing for me, I play in a men's league here in Indiana. It's like it's wood bat, so we're there. It's fastballs only, and like probably 50, 60 mile an hour. I'm 150 pounds, so not exactly a middle of the order bat, but I can run and I can make enough contact to where I lead off. But we moved to a new park this year, like literally a park, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is like you pay to play, and it's just a bunch of old guys. I'm actually one of the younger ones.
Still having fun.
Last fall we played a little exhibition game, and I short hopped the wall in left field. Now I thought I'll just go slap some balls on the ground and run them out. But now I'm thinking I can maybe hit one over the fence. Can you help me? Any kind of training, any kind of swing advice without ever knowing me or being in person? Like I'm trying to hit a
Yeah.
dinger this summer, and I need your help.
All right. So here's the number one thing I want you to think about when hitting the softball or the base. You're playing the baseball league, not
Baseball,
softball.
yeah, yeah, it's legit
The number
baseball.
one thing you got to think about is you don't try to hit the ball over the fence. You hit the ball through the fence.
Okay,
That's going to make you drive through the ball, not try to lift it. When you try to lift the ball, you're either going to pop it up or you're going to hit it straight in the ground. You're going to hit a lot of choppy ground balls. So you got to stay through the ball. So you try to hit the ball through the fence, not over the fence. And when you do that, you'll backspin it. And that's why small
right.
guys like me, I'm 6 foot, 195 pounds. I hit it a long ways because I know how to backspin a baseball.
All right. I need the backspin. Yeah. If I just go outside and like swing a bat with like if I want to add a little bit of bat speed, is there workouts to do for that?
Yeah, so here's how you get bat speed. Your bat speed is correlated with your backside, your back hip, your back knee. The better you
Okay.
use your backside and your back knee, the quicker your hands are going to be through the zone. And be really loose. You want to be like a cooked spaghetti noodle at the plate. You don't want to be up there tensed up. When you're tensed up and strong, you're going to be slow. Bat
Okay.
speed is power. So you got to be loose, cook like a cooked spaghetti noodle, and use your back knee. Emphasize on back knee, almost
Back
trying to
knee.
drive it to your front foot.
All right.
And
Should
that's
I
going to
like
speed.
like a kick, leg kick, or just keep my feet down?
Keep your feet down. You don't need a
All
leg
right.
kick.
All right. All
But
right.
I'm doing something really cool, man. I'm actually fixing to start a lot of online stuff with baseball training wise because one of the main problems we got is there are a lot of unqualified people that have social media presence that are teaching the wrong things about baseball. And I feel like, with my resume and what I have done throughout my career, I think it's my opportunity and my duty to make sure these young men learn the correct way to play the game. So that's what I'm about to. I'm actually going to release it here soon. I just videoed some half of what I'm got going on 2 days ago, so that's going to be exciting. So people need to keep an eye out for that.
All right. Yeah, you get a retweet from me. I'm keeping an eye on you. I was going to ask you about that next, and then yeah, I think just the main point for your future, man. Like I totally agree. If you're training a 16-year-old kid or younger, like put away the analytics, man. Like just teach them how to play the game. I don't
Play
know
the
how.
game.
I don't know if people do that, but that's cool. And then you also have the opportunity to maybe not push it, not push the Christianity stuff on them, but that's obviously a part of your life, and good to kind of get that into some of the young minds, open their minds to that a little bit.
That's it. I got it. All you got to do is do God's work and let God be God.
All right.
That's it.
Hey, man. So we're on the same page there. Might have some differing opinions about analytics and whatnot, but all that's kind of meaningless at the end of the day. So Yeah, Tanner_Allen 10 on X, looking to do some coaching, hitting stuff for the future. So keep an eye on him. Nice guy. Thanks for coming on, man. It was really fun talking to you.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, brother. You have a great day. Thank you so much.
See you guys. All right, we're clear.